Hello everybody, today we will recreate a Kinder Delice by 5,000 times so that it weighs 200 kilograms. But first let's study the original. So it has characteristic chocolate patterns on the outside. Let's taste it. It is very tasty. So it consists of milk chocolate, then a layer of chocolate ganache, 2 chocolate biscuits, and between them is a layer of airy white cream. Let's start with the most difficult one, the biscuit. I bought 630 eggs for this part. According to my calculations, this should be enough. So we take them out of the boxes. Also, we need a basin for the yolks. Now will be the most crucial stage. We need to separate the protein from the yolk at the same time so that not a single drop of egg white gets into the yolks, otherwise they will churn worse. Done. Pour all the yolks into a larger basin. Here we pour in 22.5 kilograms of sugar. And mix this all with a huge mixer. Without oil, the biscuit will not be so soft, tasty, and tender. And so then we have it on a large scale, we need to pour in as many as 9 liters of oil. Also, the biscuit should be chocolate, so we will add in some cocoa. I have calculated everything in advance, and we need 8 kilograms of 250 grams. Mix it up again. Right now, the dough is getting too thick. At this stage, it needs to be diluted with 9.5 liters of boiling water. Gradually pour it in and knead it. Now this is the consistency we need. What kind of dough is it without flour? So now it's time to add it in, exactly 18 kilograms. And the baking powder will give us the dough airiness. We have it in small packages, so we will open up one at a time and add them in. In total, you just need 1.5 kilograms of baking powder. And mix it up again. And there's a lot of dough, but it's very viscous, so after stirring for 30 minutes, we almost ruined the mixer. This is not the final type of test, so now it needs to be divided into 2 parts. Done. I hope that you haven't forgotten that we still have the egg whites, so it's time to add them in as well. So measure out 200 milliliters and pour them all into small bowls with mixers. And 400 milliliters will go into the large bowl for the stand mixer. And we start mixing them up. When we get a lush foam here, it's time to scoop them up into the sugar and add it into the egg whites. Thanks to the sugar, the foam will become much denser. This should also be done with the smaller bowls. Done. We remove the bowls, and we send the foam to the basin with the dough. With a spatula, you need to mix all this carefully to keep the air bubbles away from the egg whites. It took 8 hours to beat and mix all the proteins. As a result, it turned out to be a very airy dough. So now let's take this outside and pour it all into a large baking dish. We're scraping every last drop off the walls. And the form is 2/3 full. We transfer this all into a special cart inside our huge stove. We remove the clothespins that held on the parchment and push the cart inside. And close the doors. And turn on the gas. We will keep the temperature around 180 degrees. It has been 3 hours since we baked it, and it is clear that the dough has already risen really well, but it is still very raw inside. We kept our eyes on it the whole time and checked its readiness. But this huge biscuit was baked only after 16 hours. After that, it cooled down smoothly for another whole day. And only on the 3rd day, we took it out of the oven. We put a sheet of plywood on top and turn the biscuit over on the table. We tear off the unnecessary parchment. And the biscuit turned out to be very soft and slightly moist. Just perfect. Now it needs to be cut to get 2 biscuits. To do this, we just tied a wire to 2 sticks. And with their help, we cut the biscuits along the guides. We remove the guide boards, and as we see, everything worked out. We will put a sheet of plywood between the layers. And now the layers of biscuits can be conveniently transferred. Chocolate ganache is next in line. It needs 15 liters of cream. Pour them into a saucepan. And we'll set it to heat up at medium power. From the previous videos, we have 10 kilograms of melted milk chocolate left. So now we're going to use it. And so that it melts quickly, we will cut it into small shavings. And we dump it into a bowl. It took 2 hours to carve 10 kilograms of chocolate. But that's not enough. We need another 5 kilograms. We open up the chocolates and break them into the gastric capacity. Now just pour hot cream over the chocolate. And stir with a whisk so that the chocolate dissolves. And in order to get rid of the lumps 100%, we will use an Immersion Blender. We have covered the form with the parchment again and put it into the freezer. And only that way we'll pour into our chocolate ganache. After 5 hours, it cooled down and became dense. While we get the mold out of the freezer, and we put the first biscuit in. And return it to the freezer. Finally, we move on to the white cream in the center of the bar. To make this, we will need 36 liters of pastry cream. First, we open up one pack and pour 130 grams into a saucepan. We will also need some gelatin. Add 17 grams. And mix it up. Now we'll just wait literally 5 minutes for the gelatin to swell and put it on the stove. To make it faster, we will use all the burners at once. While the gelatin is dissolving, you need to measure out ½ liter of cream. And pour them into the bowls of the mixers. Turn on the mixers. As soon as the cream has become dense, we need to melt the gelatin. And to now pour it into the whipped cream. The gelatin, after cooling, will securely fix the cream, and it will not be crushed even by a huge biscuit. That's it, we send the cream to the mold that is in the freezer. so that all the cream needs to be turned into an airy cream. Next, put the next biscuit on top. And it's time for the chocolate layer. Just pour the drops into that Marmite. Turn on the heating, and we will mix it periodically so that the chocolate melts faster. Done. We take out the gastric capacity and pour it onto the biscuit in the freezer. Spread out the chocolate evenly. And we wait for it to set. That's it. Finally, we take the mold out of the freezer. To turn it over, we apply the plywood again. And this time, to be safe, we will press it with a stretch film. Unwinding the construction film on the table, it is necessary so that the chocolate is not spread on the table. We reveal it. Now calmly turn over the form. The stretch film is coped with this function and it is no longer needed. We lift up the form. We remove the parchment again, and you can see the layers of the future Kinder Delices. The white cream sticks out a little bit beyond the biscuit, so we trim it off. And also trim the chocolate ganache. And now we need a really big batch of chocolate. We fill up the Marmite. Melt it. And add in more. We're left with a lot of chocolate, but it is too thick. We will need this kind of chocolate later, so we'll put it into a cooking bag. And pour sunflower oil into the remaining chocolate. And now we carefully mix it. That's it. You can pour in some hot milk chocolate over the bar. Cut off the tip of the cooking bag, and draw a pattern like the original Kinder Delice. In my opinion, our giant Kinder Delice looks just like the original. It's just huge and weighs 200 kilograms. Now let's look inside. Compared to the original, it looks really similar. All the layers are smooth and in the right sequence. I decided to try everything together. And it is honestly identical to the original. It's mega delicious. Under every video with giant food, people always ask, where did we put it? But apparently those who did not watch the videos to the end are asking this. And if you had watched it to the end, then you would have known that first we cut up this Kinder Delice into large pieces the size of huge cakes. And then each such piece was securely packed in plastic wrap. And loaded into the car. And then we take it to the Women and Children's Home. This is a local shelter that helps women with children in difficult situations. We put a lot of effort and time into this Kinder, so namely, it took 5 days to prepare it. And it's so nice to see that it wasn't all in vain, and that it really brought a lot of joy to the children. And as soon as this video gets 200,000 likes, then I will shoot a new video with a giant meal. Bye, everybody!